is off to a fine start at your house today. I am happy. I am sad. I am living a roller coaster of emotions right now. I'm happy to be here. It's been 5 or 6 years since I've been down here. We used to go down here and swim in the swimming hole. The little honey holes up here, we swam in it. We camped out up on top of this bluff right here that was all sandy beach. This rock bed here, I found numerous arrowheads, shark's teeth, pieces of petrified palm wood. I mean, this is where I learned how to rebuild a carburetor here. Actually, right down there, I turned my three-wheeler over in the creek and got water in my intake, and I had to clean my carburetor because it flooded my carburetor out with water. It happened about 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a day like today, during January or February, I can't remember. But it was a pretty day, I remember that much. But it was fixing to get dark, because this time of year it gets dark. I didn't know what I was doing. All I knew is I wasn't getting, my three-wheeler wasn't cranking. And I opened up my air box and it was full of water. Well, what's in front of the air box? The carburetor. It leads to the engine. So I pulled the carburetor off of it and opened it up and washed it out with gas out of my gas tank. And luckily, I mean, it was an emergency. After that, I always kept a can of Chem Tool B12 in my three-wheeler, my little turtle hull. Those days led me on a course that lasted a lifetime. First, it was riding tracks, riding trails, chasing a dream, a ride to work. For 2 years, a four-wheeler was my only way to work. I'd load what camping gear I had up on my TRX 350. I'd load it down, put a cooler on the front, and I'd come down here and camp all weekend with my buddies. Grown man. Brought my kids down here. We swam. We fished. We never hunted because we respected the landowners. We hunted rocks. We cooked. We cleaned this place up. People come down here and trashed out. People got to where they were coming down here trashing it out. And I guess the Tiger Worship sold out in the long run, and he stopped grading the road. I don't know how long it's been since it's been graded, but that road leading in here, if I hadn't have been on this Kodiak 700, I wouldn't have got here. I wouldn't have got here at all. The man down at the Forks, he built a He built a pond about 10 years ago, and the pond dam borders the edge of the road, and he put his overflow right into the road, right into the road, and it has washed the spot out about 50 feet wide and about 2 foot deep. About 1.5 foot, 2 foot deep is how deep it was when I crossed it. He should be arrested and put in jail and forced to have to fix that and keep it fixed, because the way I was raised is you're a steward of the land. Be a good steward of the land. Never follow a trail unless you can make it better. That don't mean make a better mud hole. Never visit a campsite without making it better, cleaning it up, making it better, making it more hospitable. Never go fishing without doing something to make your fishing hole better. And that just goes to say that a lot of folks would come down here and they just tear these trails up. I mean, you got to admit, in the last 20-something, 25 years, the cars or the trucks and the ATVs that we have bought our children, much more powerful than what we ever had. We were lucky to have two-wheel drive trucks with a set of mud grips on the back of it, you know. But now everybody's got a 4x4 and got them lifted and got big tires on them, and they come down here and they come down this here and they drive right up the creek to the swimming hole. That road to the swimming hole was hard as cement, and you could drive a two-wheel drive truck right down through the middle of the creek all the way to the swimming hole and park and get out and never spin a tire. Not anymore. I wouldn't even want to go down there, not on this. Especially on a day like today. I mean, this is not my four-wheeler, so I'm not going to cross any deep water or anything like that. I'm just not going to do it. I just wanted to go for a ride because I just got through doing a lot of work for this thing. I had to, a mouse got into this thing and chewed up all the wires in the battery box and built a nest in it, and in the primary. And whenever he chewed up all the wires, he managed to chew up the main wire leading from the solenoid to the starter, and he shorted out the starter and the solenoid and the battery. And there was a big concern that he had built a nest down inside the primary box and behind the primary box. So, I mean, I'm pretty intimate with this four-wheeler right now. And the lean angle sensor right here was chewed off about that far from the lean angle sensor plug. And I had to rebuild the plug and rewire all the wiring underneath this cap. No, I don't have a lot of video on it because it was long and it was slow and it was boring, and I deleted that mess. As much of it as I think I kept some. I'll have to see, but I had to clean out my video library, and I think some of that stuff got deleted. I'm not sure, but I'm just telling you guys, if y'all have good places to go ride, don't tell people about them, because people will come from out of town and they will tear stuff up, and they won't treat it the same way that you treat it. you know, one or two four-wheelers hitting some trails once every week or two or month or so, that don't do the damage to them like 4, 5, or 10 hitting them once a week or every week. You know, the road is pretty much due to the land can survive the ATVs because the creek will change its course and direction, and it'll clean everything up, you know, here and there and there and here. It'll clean that stuff up and fix it. But that road up there is man-made, and it is the only way it's going to get better is if man maintains it, because nature is just going to destroy it. The man made that he made his spillway to where it falls right into the road, and it washed the road out. So the county is going to have to spend so much money to fix that one hole that's going to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger because of that one man being whatever he is. He created the mess. Okay, now coming down here, the road hasn't been graded in probably, no telling how long. It used to be kept up pretty often, about once a year. They would come through and maintain the road and keep it to where, you know, folks could drive down here and enjoy an afternoon with their kids and their grandkids or whatever. But now that road looks like it hasn't been maintained in years and years, and there's a gully wash right through the middle of it that's 2 foot deep or more in places, and it's washed all the way down to the bedrock in some places, and it's awful. It's awful. I see the end of an epic era. The era of us coming down here and our kids coming down here and enjoying this place is gone. Grofton has nothing anymore. This was the last place that Grofton had that they could come and enjoy a cool spot during the summertime. And Tiger Worsham and that gentleman up there at the Y has ruined it. Ruined it. And I will say this. The kids that came down here and trashed the place up and didn't clean up after themselves, they ruined it too. They're at more fault at this than anyone else.